Hello. Grabe. Test mic.
Check, 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 check.
Diyos maray na hapon po sa Indogabos. Sa gabos na nagdadahog sa tuya. Online. Yaon po kitang ngunyan on-site sa Casablanca Hotel. Ini po ang episode 3 kang sa tuyang Energy Forum Series. Ah, ini sponsor kang Albay Provincial Government. Ini man po sa pagtabangan kang ining programang ini sa pagtabangan kang Albay Bar Association and at the same time Albay Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Data na po pagparapalo yun ang satuyang forum for today. Para po sa opening remarks, po dun po ang presidente kang Albay Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Pres Glenn.
Yes, thank you, Attorney Chris. Good afternoon po sa indong gabos to all sa gabos po na nagmamati o sa kunyan na episode. On behalf of the Albay Chamber of Industry episode, welcome po sa Indo. Aron po nindo, the energy is no more a technical issue, but it's more on para sa muya, no? It's a more on economic and governance and competitiveness issue. So for Albay, no, reliable, affordable, and sustainable power is fundamental to tourism, manufacturing, MSMEs, digital enterprises, and job creation. Without energy, security and growth is constrained. As a business chamber, ACCI constantly hears one clear message from our members. High power costs, instability, and uncertainty limit investment decisions. These challenges affects not only large industries, but also small entrepreneurs, farmers, and households across the province. This forum is therefore not just about discussing the problems, but about aligning solutions. We are here to bridge policy and practice to strengthen collaboration between government, utilities, regulators, and private sector, and to explore reforms, innovation, and investment that will make Albay more competitive and resilient. Sa ACCI po, naniniwala kami na ang progreso sa satuyang inihiryang sector must be transparent, data-driven, and inclusive. In ACCI, we support reforms that improve efficiency, encourage renewable and reliable sources, and of course, protection of consumers, and create an environment where business can plan and grow with confidence. So this forum let this forum be a platform for open dialogue, constructive debate, and actionable outcomes, because energy decision we make today will define Albay's economic future for decades to come. So thank you very much po sa Albay Bar Association also for this partnership. Thank you.
Thank you, Pres Glenn. Nadahog na ang opening remarks kang Albay Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Kunyan para rumdumunta kung ano sa mga nakaaging pangyayari sa ating Energy Forum. Damugunta ang recap kang sa tuyang gwapong kairiba, Attorney Taigi Calleja.
Maray na hapon sa gabos na taga-Albay. If there are people listening who do not speak the vernacular, the Bicolano language, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Good afternoon to everyone. Last time, we already had 2 episodes and what happened? No, initially, just as a recap, we were able to identify that Aleco, the cooperative that supplies and distributes the electricity to commercial and households all over Albay, has problems. And in fact, among all the cooperatives in the entire Philippines, Aleco, Albay Electric Cooperative, is actually the laggard. We are the worst performer among all 80 plus cooperatives in the entire Philippines. As mentioned by Aleco last episode, there is a marked improvement from category D. We have improved to category C. While there is an improvement, yet being at category C is still is a dismal performance. And that translates to our electricity being not only expensive, but at the same time, there are many areas in our province experience brownouts. Not to mention that some of the electricity are not clean. Clean meaning the wattage is not the standard. So it's a substandard wattage, meaning our electrical appliances all suffer. Some problems were identified and acknowledged by Aleco. Chiefly, number one, they are saying that it's the system losses. The standard system loss, or if you are to be raised to category A or AAA, you have to be in single digits in system losses. We are about 22 to 25% system loss, meaning 1/4 of whatever electricity is supplied to Albay is lost. The technical losses only as admitted by Aleco is only around 7% to 9%, meaning the rest of the losses are those that are stolen, illegal connections or connections that are never really paid for. So over so many years, despite the fact that supposedly programs were given to Aleco, to date, as admitted by Aleco last episode, Aleco as a cooperative is in debt for about 5 billion pesos. Not to mention that this billion is already earning interest. So this is the problem of having poor supply because of system losses, plus the compounding debts of Aleco makes the problem, not only the problem of the cooperative per se, but it's a problem of all of us here in Albay. And this is the very reason why this Energy Forum series is actually being held, so that perhaps, and today we will be hearing, perhaps we will find some solutions. As mentioned also in the previous episodes, there are interested parties that would like to help manage or even operate or perhaps even own the electric distribution business here in Albay. And mentioned are Meralco, Aboitiz, and Prime Power. So today, I think in this third episode, calling from from what we have so far heard and learned from during the first episode and the second episode, we will be hearing another proposal. And this is a management supposedly already tested by other cooperatives in the different parts of the country. A cooperative, an electric cooperative managing another cooperative. So it's a C2C or a cooperative to cooperative. We also had the support of the provincial government of Albay through our very able governor, Noel Rosal, who has shown and supported this effort to have this forum in search of the solution for Albay's electrical problems. And I think even during the last episode, the City of Legazpi, through the legal officer, Attorney Bose, the good mayor of Legazpi also is very supportive of this search for a solution of the electrical problems of Albay. And so with that, I hope whoever will be listening in, whether live or because this will be recorded, I hope you also participate because every Albayano is affected by this problem. So yun lang po. Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat, Panyero. Narinig nyo yung recap, di ba? Sa episode 1, trinay natin i-articulate kung ano ba talaga ang problema ng ating bayan, ng probinsya ng Albay. Sa episode 2 in particular, binigyan natin pagkakataon yung kung paano ba o ano ba ang solusyon sa problema ng probinsya ng Albay sa usapin ng elektrisidad, ng enerhiya. Okay? Ang ating po makakasama sa araw na ito, Panyero, ay isang engineer, industrial engineer. Siya po ay isa ng retired na private professor ng UST Legazpi. At pagkatapos kanyang retirement, nagpatuloy siya Forbes College. Right now, siya ay vice president, tama po ba, ng Forbes College. Meron hindi lang siya, Panyero, resource speaker. Pwede ng pag-aaral talaga sa cooperative to cooperative scheme na solusyon. As a matter of fact, sa panayam ko sa kanya bago pa yung programa natin, ang sabi niya, meron siyang thesis dito sa kanyang doctorate study. Tama po ba, engineer? Okay. Without further ado, wag na po natin palawigin. Let me introduce to you ang ating resource speaker for today. Walang iba kundi si Engineer Virgilio Perdigon Jr. Tama? Okay.
Good afternoon to the attorneys and the business leader present in this hall. I titled this presentation Updated Co-op to Co-op and LGC Solution to Albai's Power Calamity because the original design dated 2013 was crafted by a professor in the UP National Engineering Center, Professor Roaldo Del Mundo. He presented this in 2013, but after 13 years, still it has not been given any chance to be tried as the solution. What they did in 2013 up to 2022 was to adopt private sector participation. San Miguel Corporation managed and operated ELECO for 8 years, 10 months, only for the debt of the cooperative to balloon from 4.2 billion to about 9 billion. We have the document to show for that from the General Membership Assembly in September 2022. More than that, the price from around 6 or 7 pesos per kilowatt hour in the 1990s and early 2000 jacked up to 18 pesos per kilowatt hour. And if that is not enough, we had a very high frequency of brownouts. These are measured by the SAIDI and SAIFI statistics. Napaliwanag na to nung episode 2, so I will not belabor that. And there was so much resistance from the consumers so that they vented their anger through what we may call measures that even aggravated the system's loss. There was resistance. Alam niyo, parang Afghanistan and Vietnam. The US tried to enforce its power on the people, but in the end, it had to back out. Ganito din po ang nangyari during the regime of PSP. Tumakas or, well, umalis ang San Miguel Corporation. Let me present slide number 1. May mga hakbang, pinagalog ko to, para lutasin ang krisis natin. Number 1 po dyan, pagpalaya. Sorry for the term, sa APEC. Nagawa na po yan. Pero, natigil nang si Governor Rosal patalsikin sa Capitol. Siya sana yung nag-effort na may balik ng ELECO sa Albayano Control. But by December 2022, alam niyo na yung nangyari. Kaya natigil yung sana balangkas ng pagpapabuti sa ELECO. Yan po, pakikipagtulungan sa mga local government units. Natigil po yan. Pagbuo ng interim board na sectoral din ang composition. Hindi lang geographic. Kasi ngayon, puro lang districts. Walang representation ang mga sectors. At pang-apat, medyo mahaba-haba, pagsakatuparan ng mga sumusunod. Next slide, please. Pag-reorganisa ng opisina, paglikom ng seed funding, pagpalit sa mga lumang pasilidad, pagtigil sa corruption inside. Sorry for that, but it's well-known, pakikipagtulungan sa ibang mga kooperatiba ng kuryente. And that po is the core of this proposal. And pagtalaga ng mga standards sa gawaing maintenance. Alam nyo ngayon, magpapalit lang ng poste, 8 hours ang brownout. Reasonable ba yun? Sa amin sa engineering, palit ka ng isang poste, let the supply continue. Pag oras na ka nang magkakabit, mga 15 minutes lang yun na brown out. Hindi po 8 hours. Next slide. Pagkuha po ng supply mula sa Tiwi at Manito. Ito po sinasabi ni Attorney Taiki, renewable. Dapat ang source ng Aleco, renewable. Tiwi and Bacon Manito, sobra-sobra po. Mamaya, papakita ko yung computation. Pang-anim, and I think pinakamalaga para masolusyonan yung systems loss. Pagkalap ng suporta mula sa mga mamamayan. Yan po ang hindi nakukuha ng Aleco hanggang ngayon. Next slide. Tatlo ang dapat nating makuha. Nandyan po. Social acceptability, financial operability, technical feasibility. Next slide. Hindi ko na po siguro kailangang palawigin pa yung discussion dito. Pag hindi ka tanggap ng mga consumers, lugi negosyo mo. Di ba? It's a no-brainer. Kailangan may suporta ka sa consumer base mo. Otherwise, lugi ang iyong negosyo. Next slide. Ano lang ito? Suggestion kung paano makuha ang puso ng mga tao. Transparency. 2022 ko pa yan ginawa. Ngayon, ang issue ng transparency ay napakalaki sa mga nakawan ng ating buwis. Ganon din sa Aleco. Transparency ang kailangan. Financial transparency. Next slide. Truth Commission. Karoon sila ng Truth Commission. Hindi para mag-revenge. Para matutunan lahat ng lessons at hindi na maulit ang mga mali. Next slide. Now, saan tayo kukuha ng pera? May suggestion po kami, 3. Mula po sa ibang kooperatiba, number 1. Mula po sa mga LGUs at NEA. Sa number 1, 10 co-op. Sa number 2, 30 para mas mababa ang contribution ng bawat isa. 30 lang sila o 30 sila, 10 million each. LGU at 3 cities, 60 million. Example lang, 15 towns, 150 million. Yung balance, bigay ng provincial government at ng NEA. Malaki ang pondo ng NEA. Next slide. Ito po, warning lang. Gawin daw stock corporation ang Aleco. We are against this because yung private entity, alam naman natin ito, hindi naman tayo pinanganak kahapon, can use dummies and eventually own and privatize Aleco forever. Next slide. Is it technically possible? Yes. How much does Tiwi and do Tiwi and Bacon Manito geothermal power plants produce? Ito po. Next slide. Ang Tiwi, 234 megawatts. Bacon Manito, 130. Total mo yan, that's 364. Pero kunin lang natin ang 10% ng Bacon Manito, 247 megawatts available sa Albay. Ano ang consumption ng Albay? 30 million kilowatt hours. Translated to 42 megawatts. 247 minus 42, simple math, 205, sobra. Na pwede natin ibigay sa iba. Kung tumaas sa 50, next slide. Ang kailangan ng Albay, 70 megawatts. Ang sobra, 177. I don't know kung ano ang latest na consumption ng Aleco maybe 70, but still, may sobra pa rin tayong pwedeng ibigay sa ibang lugar. Albay lang, ano mang term yun? Paldo sa power supply. Next slide. Sabi nila, oh, hindi mangyayari yan. Bawal sa IPIRA. Legally, impossible. Pero technically possible. Alin sa dalawa ang susundin natin? Di ba? Pwedeng baguhin yung legal. At mamaya, pakita ko na ang IPIRA, hindi ganyan ang sinasabi. Next slide. Ito na, malapit. Ano ang legal na base ng C2C ito? 4. Local Government Code, Section 16 and 17. Next slide. Yan. Obligasyon ng LGU ang general welfare. Sabi dyan sa Section 16. At sila ay inuutusan na maghanap ng paraan para maibigay ang mga basic services. Ano ang basic services? Isa na dito ang kuryente. Ano yan? Local Government Code. Next slide. Next, DOE Law. Section 5, paragraph I. Sabi ng RA 7638, maghanap ng mga paraan para bigyan ng direct benefit ang probinsya, city, municipality, and maging equitable ang preferential benefits. Batas yan. Nasusunod ba ngayon? I'm not a lawyer. You are the lawyers. I think you know the answer. Next slide. Next slide. Yan. Sabi nila, bawal sa IPIRA. Hindi. Sabi ng IPIRA, yung sinabi dun sa DOE law, sa Local Government Code, shall continue. Section 66. So mali yung sinabi sa atin na dahil sa IPIRA, hindi tayo pwedeng makinabang sa tuwi at maan ito. Okay? And finally, sa legal basis, NEA na mismo. Noon, ayaw ng NEA ang C2C. Binigyan kami ng hadlang. Pinadaan sa referendum. Sabi nila, kung magrereklamo kayo sa result ng referendum, you provide or pay a bond of 750,000 pesos. Eh kami mga ulubi, paano namin mako-question yan yung result ng referendum? Pero ngayon, ang NEA mismo ay na memo 2020-049. Inaako na po nila bilang legitimate solution ang C2C. Next slide. Next slide, please. Ayan. Cooperative to cooperative approach na dating tinatawag na Task Force Kapatid. Number 3. Yan. Combination daw ng C2C at PSP. Okay, fine. Number 4. C2C at LGU. So ito po ang aking inaangklahan ng update na NEA mismo ang nagsasabing magtulungan ang advocates ng C2C at ang LGU. Next slide, please. Ito po, may political backing ba ito? Yes. RDC Resolution 41, Series of 2013, endorsed C2C. Sino ang nasa RDC? Mga political leaders, governors, mayors, regional directors, civic leaders, academic heads. They endorsed C2C. O ano nangyari? Sabi ni Secretary Pitila, idan sa referendum. Nung mag-referendum, nagbilihan ng boto. Yung mga lugar na malakas ang C2C, inalisan nila ng voting center. Dinala sa Kabaangan Elementary School. Eh kung pro C2C ka, babiyay ka pa ng ilang kilometers na yan, hindi ka na lang boboto. The result, 5,000 voted for PSP, 3,000 for C2C. Total 8,000 out of 220,000 consumers. Kayo magtanong, valid ba yung result pagka ganun ang statistics? So yun po ang basis ng C2C. Next slide, please. Ayan, pinalaki ko lang yung copy ng resolution for a clearer view ng audience. Sige, next slide. Sir,
Question lang.
Apo.
Itong RDC Resolution 2013, sino po ang RDC Chair?
Ang nakapiro po dyan, si Attorney Esando as the Vice Chair. Hindi ko po nakuha kung sino ang chair noon. I think it was usually a governor.
Yes,
Oo.
exactly. That's why I do not recognize the signatories.
Nasa baba po.
Okay, I do not
That's right.
recognize them kung sino sila.
Nasa third slide. Next slide, please. Yan. Ayaw.
Yan RDC Secretary si Luis Banua. Sino siya? Si
Vice
Attorney Escandor. Sino din po ito?
Yan.
Do we know them?
We can ask for the...
I thought you participated.
Ay, dyan sa forum na. Hindi po.
Okay.
Ang nandun po I don't know kung anong posisyon yun noon. I think Governor Joey Salceda.
Siya
nag-endorse.
yung chairman.
I think so.
Salceda?
Opo. Let's
Ng
verify.
RDC. Naging RDC chair si Salceda?
I think he was the one who endorsed that after Del Mundo said original design. And that's how the RDC decided. Okay. Sige na? Can we proceed? Now we go to the technical design. Next slide, please. Wala. Ayan. May 5 components ang program. System loss reduction, debt settlement plan, power supply plan, distribution development plan, and institutional and human resource development plan. Again, I emphasize this is the original design of Professor Roaldo Del Mundo. Okay, next. Sa systems loss, nakapula dyan, i-automate ang meter reading and billing. The other components, I think they are not new. Ito lang ang in-emphasize ni Professor, number 4, automation. Customer mapping.
Engineer, can you elaborate? Anong ibig sabihin ng automated?
Gagamit po ng software, mga IT equipment to monitor and data from the
Layman's understanding. And isa na natin yung legal understanding. When you say automated, walang tao.
meron pa rin. May sila gadget na itatapat doon sa meter, automatic
Di ba
wala na.
ganun na yun ngayon? Di ba ganun na yun ngayon?
Yeah.
It's automated already.
Kasi bago.
So,
At
ginagawa na to ngayon.
Yeah, at that time, wala pa nun. Yung 2013. So I think they got their senses right. They have adapted some form of the design. Okay? Sige. Paano naman daw babayaran yung utang? Yeah, Tony.
Can I go back? Yes.
Say that
yung nakalagay dyan. It's 9%. Yan na. Yung mga existing power quality correctional loss, nandun yung 9%. In yung the rest percent, mostly number 5,
Yeah, balik natin. Nawala yung presentation.
mostly number 5 engineer.
Opo.
Bakit? Yun sana solusyon. Kasi even Alec, we were asking them last time namin.
That's why we emphasize the support of the consumers is important in any solution. Without their support, we cannot get out of this mess. Anti-theft campaign and apprehension. And a question, yung PSP ba ay sinuporta ng consumers? We have the right to say, yes. The grassroots support cooperative to cooperative partnership.
Itutuloy ko lang yung point. Kasi lumalabas nga, number 5, yung anti-theft campaign and apprehension, yung dapat gawin. Alam naman natin na even Aleco themselves, they cannot police. Sinabi mo na kagad, 230,000 consumers.
20. Maybe it has gone up.
230 na ngayon. Yung 220 mo, nung panahon mo yon. 230 na ngayon.
230. Yeah, no wonder.
Yes, okay. So we have 3 districts. First, second, and third. Accordingly, the second district is the better performer
That's the
compared to
report, yeah.
first and third.
Yeah.
Kung baga tayo dito sa second district, baka nasa mga systems loss natin, mga 15% lang.
I'm not privy to the data.
Mga ganun lang. Pero bakit umaabot tayo ng average ng mga 23 to 25%? We are pulled down by the first district and third district. At the end of it all, na gusto naming matulungan nyo kami to address this. Magtulungan tayo.
Yeah.
Paano natin pipigilan yung pagnakaw ng mga tao? 230,000, how many people do we need to work para lang hulihin yung mga tong nagnanakaw ng kuryente?
Kung sasagot ni attorney, personal individual response, hindi ito kakayanan ng any police work. This requires psychological or even political influence over people. Kung sino ang may tiwala ang tao, sila yung susundin nila ng consumers. Pag sinabi ng isang corporation, magbayad kayo, magpapadala kami ng police kung hindi kayo magbabayad, do you think people will comply? I don't think so. Experience shows that. But if they trust the economic and political leaders, the community paningin, I believe, attorney, susunod sila. And they will say that complying with a cooperative's policy for lower systems loss will redound to their benefit. Sa ngayon, panahon ng APEC, babawas ang system loss. Sino makikinabang? San Miguel. Bakit kami mag-cooperate? Pero pag sinabi mong, babawas ang systems loss, Sino makikinabang? Tayo. I believe they will cooperate. Kaya kung sino may political and psychological influence over the grassroots, siya yung mananalo dito.
Sige po.
Okay. Sige. So yun ang pinaka-importante, I think. Social acceptability of the solution. And you cannot quantify that with money. More sa barangay, more on interpersonal relationship. Kung influencer ka sa barangay mo and you say, uy, tama na yan. Huwag na natin nakawin kuryente. I believe people will follow. Multiply that over ilang barangay ba sa Albay? More than 700?
700.
Yeah. 720. I think that is the aspect being overlooked in this search for solutions. Sige. And if I may add, ang private corporation would need competition to benefit the consumers. Kaya may corporate, competition law, di ba? Pero kung cooperative, kailangan is cooperation. Yun nga term eh. People cooperate among themselves. They don't need to compete among themselves. So we prefer that the supplier of electricity in the province is a cooperative rather than a corporation. Okay? Sige. Shall we proceed with the slides? Paano babayaran yung utang? Debt settlement plan. Again, I quote Professor Del Mundo. Pag nabawasan ng systems loss, or ang makukuha sa systems loss, mababawi doon ay ilalagay sa restricted fund. At magkakaroon ng restructuring agreement with PEMC, PISAM, NGCP, and NEA. Okay? Number 3. Okay, next slide please. Power supply. Saan kukuha ng kuryente? Sa ngayon, we are mandated to get from the national grid. Saan man yung galing? Coal, ano bang sources? Natural gas. Merong hydro. But we insist that, kaya updated to, we and Bacon Manito can supply Albay with excess to give. Kaya lang, I don't know what's happening in our national political leadership, hindi maka-insist ang Albay na bigyan muna ng supply bago yung ibang lugar. Okay? So this will require political maneuvering ng ating mga leaders. Opo.
Last time din kasi yung in the first episode, imbitado natin yung Independent Electric Operators Market, IMOP of the Philippines. And inexplain nila kung saan kumukuha ng kuryente. Any distributor in the Philippines, and there are around 80 plus of them, and Aleco is one of them, doon po bumibili, isa sila sa mga pwedeng bilhan ng kuryente. Actually, pwede ang Aleco bumili diretso sa dyan sa Bacmat,
Bilateral agreement.
and or sa Tiwi, pero conforme naman kasi sa price and negotiation yan. Para lang, not only for you engineer, but also kung may mga makikinig man sa amin or yung mga policy makers or kung sino man yung magde-decide for this, yung sinasabi mo na bakit hindi tayo mabigyan, wala namang nagpo-prohibit or barring Aleco or Albay from getting anywhere. We can. In fact, Aleco also admitted, and we praised them for that, that we got certain portions of our electricity previously at kukuha tayo sa isang solar power generator, yung mga green energy. So sa iba-iba po tayo kumukuha, depende sa ating kakayanan makipag-negotiate. The problem when you are under category D before, ngayon C, a little improvement, yung negotiating power mo mababa. Why is that? Why are you category C? Bakit ka mababa? Bakit di ka AAA? Kasi ibig sabihin, isa doon sa mga criteria, hindi ka nakakapagbayad. You can't pay. So ang isang institusyon, o kahit tayo, for example, gawin ko na lang na madali, no? As an example, parallel. Ang isang taong maraming utang, mahirap makipag-usap sa mga supplier. Siyempre, yung supplier ayaw magbigay ng kuryente kasi hindi ka nagbabayad. Kung bibili ka man, either maiksi yung contract mo or mahal. Kasi baka utangin lang naman yan, hindi babayaran. So, ibigay na mahal para mabawi. Kasi mga private companies na yan, and they are supplying already, may bumibili sa kanila na mas mahal. Kung kaya natin yung presyo, I think, why not? Pero hindi, mas mahal sila mas murang iba.
The fact is, nandito sila nag-operate. Always maybe the economic rules long-term perspective should never be forgotten. Na in the end, Tiwi and Manitos yun, supply Aleco. Okay?
Ang point mo ba is dahil nandito sila sa Albay nag-ooperate, we should be given a preferential treatment or some kind of a discount, parang ganun ba?
DOE law attorney.
Yun nga yung point mo.
Yung paragraph
Oo.
I of section 5.
Yun yung point mo.
Yes,
diba?
correct. Okay? Sige. At as of now, it is just a dream maybe. But there's no harm in dreaming. One day, magiging real yun.
Yes, engineer. Don't get me wrong.
No.
I'm also, if you would hear me outside of this forum, because we're trying to be neutral here, outside of this forum, I for one, personally, would like to look for a legal way to force this power supplier to give us preferential treatment. But there are laws that operates, and we cannot operate outside of that law. Gawa tayo ng batas para to give Albay a preferential rate by this or at unahin tayo. Until such time, hindi natin pwede gawin yon. One of that, napaka-easy, nandyan na sa batas, eminent domain. Kunin mo.
Yeah.
Sabihin mo, kailangan ko yan eh.
Kayo ang mas nakakalam.
Diba? Mas matindi yun. Pero that's a very drastic thing. Kunin mo yung kumpanya, we operate it. Kumikita naman eh.
I totally agree with you, attorney. In the first place, I cannot argue with a lawyer on legal matters, okay? So, I hope that you succeed in your, anong mang tawag ko doon? Aspiration, dream. Pareho tayo nagdi-dream dito. And we hope that one day, yung pangarap natin maging tunay. Sir?
So back in 2020 kasi consultant ako sa provincial government of Albay. So one of the things na ni-research ko talaga is kung one of the things that I found out pala is that nagbabayad ng royalties yung EDC, yung Bacman, saka yung Tiwi Geothermal sa province of Albay. Ngayon, my suggestion there then was na lang, give back to the people na lang na mabawasan yung electric rate kasi mataas din yun, mga nasa millions din yun. And that was 2020. So malamang sa ngayon ongoing pa yun kasi every year naman sila pinagbabayad. And I think the legal basis for that is the NIRC, yung tax code, if I'm not mistaken. So, bale, yun yung suggestion ko sa kanila. But what happened was, gagamitin pala yun na pera para magkaroon ng solar energy, yung local government of Albay, provincial government of Albay. And some of us sa provincial government, we were opposing that kasi mas maganda kung everyone will be benefited, not just the local government unit. So, kaya ganon. I don't know kung ano na nangyari doon kasi after 2022, after the election of 2022, hindi na ako consultant sa
Okay.
sa limot ko na basta malaki doon yun. I forgot na pero pwede kong i-research ulit for next hearings, for the next episode.
Whatever the exact amount is, I'm sure with 99% certainty, millions yun.
Millions yun.
So, that's royalty and taxes. Itong pinag-uusapan natin, source ng kuryente pa. It's a different concern. Okay? So, dalawa actually ang makukuha nating benefit. Financial and technical. Sige. Distribution Development Plan number 4. Ito na yung mga issues ng substations, yung mga transmission lines, mga transformers. Kailangan ng rehabilitation. Kasi sinabi rin ng Aleco, yung mga pasilidad nila, luma. So this is now the technical phase of the rehabilitation plan. Okay? Masyadong technical yan, mahirap sa common tao nga absorb, but with due attention, maintindihan din nila yan. Alam nilang transformer, substation. Okay, sige. And number 5, Institutional and Human Resource Development Plan. Ito na yung pag-address sa corruption number 1, sa attitude ng mga tao, sa loob mismo ng opisina ng Aleco. Kasi alam naman natin, pinikwento sa atin noon pa, na may mga tao doon sa loob na nakikitransaction sa mga consumers. Di ba public knowledge yun? And that's one source of the decline of Aleco. Dagdag pa dyan yung pakikialam ng mga politiko. Kahit bawal sa NEA Reform Act, bawal makialam ang politiko. Pero kung ang government or local government official will look after the general welfare, I don't think there will be a problem. Iba yung political na meddling sa pagbigay ng attention sa general welfare. So yan po in a sense, or in essence, ang design ng cooperative to cooperative partnership as a solution to the power crisis in Albay, originally designed by, next slide. RFSC. Hindi pa pala next slide. Ito yung binibigyan natin na 27 centavos per kilowatt hour. By 2022, na-estimate namin na nasa 4 or 600 million. Sabi ng mga taga-Aleco, ginamit daw yan pangbayad sa power suppliers, which is wrong. Di ba? Dapat pambili yan ng transformers, pagpagawa ng substations. ginamit para magbayad sa PEMSE, sa mga o sa NGCP, which is against the law. Okay, next slide. Summary lang yan nung discuss ko na. Okay? And yung ano yung timetable, time frame, year 1 to year 6. Okay? Cooperation between Aleco and Beneco. But there are other well-performing cooperatives than Beneco. Okay, next slide. Ito yung organizational structure na kailangan. Not too different from the present. So, hindi natin nakikitaan yun ng difficulty. Next slide. At yan po ang calendar of implementation. From week 1 to year 1 to year 6. Madetalye siya. Anyone interested can get a copy of that. Okay? So, forward po ng solution na to ang social, financial, technical, legal, and political aspects towards a solution. Okay, I think that's the next slide din kay Professor. Yeah. With all due respect, we acknowledge Professor Romualdo Del Mundo, who designed the original C2C plan. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have questions, I will answer. Thank you.
Maraming salamat, Engineer Perdigon. Any question in the meantime? Or entertain muna natin yung reaction from Attorney Raymond Andes. So, mga kaibigan, pakinggan natin si Attorney Raymond for reaction.
Good afternoon. Una-una sa lahat, I would like to thank you, Engineer Perdigon, for sharing with us the proposal of Professor Del Mundo of UP National Engineering Center. And I would just like to say na madami akong natutunan sa presentation. It's concise, simple, and easy to understand. So, yun. Mabuti at marami tayong natutunan sa presentation na yun. So, here are my reactions. First, dun sa interim board, maganda yung suggestion na sectoral representation. However, I think some of the sectors wala masyadong stake sa electricity, such as yung mga kababaihan. I'm not against women and I'm definitely not against feminist movement, pero I do not see how they are different from the other gender, kung bakit meron siyang specific sector just for them. And also, I would also suggest some sectors, like for example, dito sa Albay province, very important yung tourism sector. So, suggest ko din yun. And siguro students, kasi madaming students dito from other provinces and even other regions. Yung sa BU College of Medicine, meron pala mga students from other regions there. Tapos, siguro yung mga remote, like for example, yung mga nasa isla, magkaroon din sila ng voice. Mga ganun na mga sectors. So, ayun. May reaction naman to the financial transparency. I actually visited the website of Aleco. Wala talagang financial transparency, walang financial reports, even the financial updates, wala talaga, as in halos wala kang mababasa doon. So, importante yung financial transparency and siguro gawin na sigurong online na din yung financial transparency, not just financial reports being posted on the offices, etc., etc. And I also agree with you regarding sa Truth Commission. Napaka-importante. I also like the purpose of the Truth Commission, and that is to learn from the past and not just to mag-revenge sa mga nagkaroon ng salap. Kasuhan na lang siguro sila kung pwede. Yung megawatt capacity parang may hindi ako magets doon na kasi yung total megawatts na pinoproduce ng EDC and TIWI parang umaabot ng 300 plus. So, the 10% that should be 34. Tama ba?
Conservative figures lang yun, attorney.
Conservative.
May 300 instead of 234, much better. Kasi nung ano yan, I think years before, Asian Development Bank figure ang ginamit ko. Maybe mas mataas na ngayon.
Mas mataas na ngayon. Next reaction ko, yung sa grid. Meron ba talagang requirement na yung NGCP magdadala muna ng kuryente sa Manila before papadala sa mga provinces?
Parang swimming pool, attorney. Lahat ng suppliers magbibigay ng tubig sa swimming pool. And lahat naman ng consumers kukuha sa swimming pool.
Oo.
Ganun ang
So may requirement talaga. Pero ang nasabi mo kanina is it's technically possible. Technically possible. Kaya lang yung legal yung problema. But I think hindi mo ata na-mention kung ano yung legal, kung anong section or provision or statute, or if is it a regulation from the NGCP, parang ganon. Kasi kung wala naman pala, di baka legally possible din.
I would request our lawyers who are better versed on the law to read the EPIRA, kasi yung binanggit ko dito is only section 66 about the continued benefits from or given by the DOE law. Kasi yun ang malakas na sinasabi ng mga sumusuporta sa EPIRA. Bawal na yan. Kailangan bigay mo muna sa National Grid. At kukuha kayo sa National Grid. Nasa
EPIRA. Oo. So, we will review EPIRA, and if we don't see any specific provision there, then maybe it's actually legally possible na diretso na from the EDC, from the Bachmann and TIWI to the electric distributor. And in fact, parang na-mention ni Attorney Taiki na the electric distributor can buy directly from the supplier. Tama po ba yun? Bilateral. Pwede naman pala.
Obstruction, sabi na Attorney Taiki, yung kakayahan ng ALECO na magbayad.
Yung malaki kasi bultuhan siguro.
Yeah. Cooperatives join together to buy from a source at a lower price. In Mindanao, ginagawa nila yun.
Pwede yun kasi malaki naman ang Bicol region. Baka pwedeng
Yeah. Pwede.
Anyway, last question na lang, si Professor Del Mundo, what is his background?
He is a World Bank consultant on energy.
Nice.
Yes. Nakikinabang sa kanya ang ibang bansa. Pero yung Bicol, I don't know, entire Philippines pa siguro.
Taga rito din po siya.
Hindi siya taga Bicol.
Pero engineer din po siya.
I think, yeah.
So, ayun lamang po ang reactions ko po. Thank you so much po again.
May feedback po ba kayo doon sa reaction, engineer?
Nasagot ko na yung ilan.
Okay, so yun. Oo. So at this point, pakinggan naman po natin ang isa pang reaction from the President of Albay Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Pres Glenn.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So sa akin lang attorney, engineer, um I take recognition, no, yung presentation, very comprehensive and very enlightening to us. Tanong ko lang kasi na emphasize is the co-op to co-op. And you mentioned na pag stock corporation kasi prone siya to dummies, no? I agree naman. On the second hand, on the second note rather, um we all know that ang problema kasi like the San Miguel na-observe namin, failure maybe because uh, walang financial interest nung pumasok. Di ba? Parang we just get paid by management or service, etc. We believe kasi po sa chamber that still governance is still a foundation of running any organization naman, no, whether lalo na po sa government or RKNI po na service. So ang apot ko lang po, do you think kung stock corporation, because if they will invest capital, will it also be whether regardless po damis, magbe-benefit din at the same time so cooperative. Kasi let's say kung nag-invest po ako sa Bionta 10 billion, di ba? Ano naman po, pag franchise po baga ang sarong RKNI, the government controls the profit. Di ba? And I think by that, like Meralco, di ba, iiling kang Energy Department DOE, na hanggang pira lang, so return. So is it also not fair ba ito? Or sa study na iling ba ito na ma-benefit sumrembro, good governance, at the same time, may mas maray na pagpapadalagan? Thank you.
That's very good in theory, President Glenn. But our experience with APEC was entirely different. Ramon Ang promised 1 billion to be invested. With a letter pa yan, ha? But after putting in 350 million, it stopped. Hindi naman tinupad yung pangako ng 1 billion. Kaya in practice, umasa ka na lang sa kay Batman. Very good in theory. In fact, I believe. Pero wag kang aasa na pagka nandyan na kayo sa field or sa actual situation, tutuparin yung pangako. Hindi tinupad ni Ramon ang 1 billion promise niya.
Yes, reaction lang po. With APEC, I think ang naging problema because although Ramon is the investor, they have also a supplier company which in a way a conflict of interest kung ilingon. But if not, for example po, no, mga negosyante sa Albay, for example, gusto magbakal, no? I'm sure igwa, pero maybe not that big enough na may qualification lang si Sai pwede magbakal kang shares up to certain percentage. Is it also feasible kaya? No?
The theory is very good. Kung hanggang theory lang tayo, I will support it totally. Pero practice, tingnan mo na lang nangyayari ngayon. Di ba? Ang practice iba sa theory. Lalo sa Pilipinas. Nako. Sana.
Thank you. Yun man lang po. Thank you.
Thank you, Pres Glenn. At this point po, pwede na kitang mag-entertain ki mga questions both from on-site and online. Kung igwa po ka mga kahaputan sa tuyang resource speaker na si Engineer Perdigon, pwede na po ka maghapot. Siguro mapuon ako. Engineer, ang proposal mo po, cooperative to cooperative, na mention mo kasubago, this is also called as parang big brother, di ba? So kung sarong kooperatiba, mataong asistensya sa sarong kooperatiba. Sa partita po, ang giri na nabanggit mo duman, Bineco. Okay. Can you iuman po ang tigta-target mo kung sakaling ma-accomplish po ining tigta-target mong solusyon. Iuman po ini su Beneco man po ang piga iling mo na the best partner cooperative for Aleco.
There are, excuse me, attorney, no? Sabi mo 80,
Ano po?
ang bilang ko is 121 electric cooperatives. Opo. Nga. Oh, attorney ka talaga. Ang iling lang naman, if my memory serves me right, around 20. So there are around 100 good performing, meaning AAA hanggang B na cooperatives. And they have the technical and financial resources with which to assist any ailing cooperative. Yung Bineco na banggit mo, attorney. Very, yeah, actually. Very eager namatay na yun eh. Yung GM doon. Unfortunately, we don't know what happened. Suddenly, nagkaroon ng problema sa loob. May gustong umupo as GM, ousting the former, and mula doon, humina yung Bineco. Nagkaroon ng financial problems. Hindi naman ako nag-concoct ng conspiracy theory. Some people tried to weaken a cooperative that aimed or intended to help Aleco. Kaya at a certain time, parang unable yung Beneco na sumaklolo na sa Aleco. But anyway, there are other cooperatives. I don't know kung nakabangon na ang Beneco sa problemang yon. I suppose because dumaan na rin sila sa problemang katulad ng sa Aleco na ang taas ng system loss, pero naibalik nila. Yung rating na 99.9%, sila ang nag-invento nun. Na yun din sana ang kanilang isa sa katuparan sa Aleco. Until political and economic events intervene. So yun po, attorney.
Okay. Sa setup pong cooperative to cooperative, tama ba yung pagkaintindi ko na parang yung isang cooperative, they are the better performer while the other cooperative is the medyo weak ang performance. Tama po ba yon? And ano po ang requirement or requirements duman sa better performer sa setup kang co-op to co-op?
If you will ask me, siguro ang isang AAA or even AA will be capable to help us. Sa Sureco, mas maganda ang performance nila. And they also indicated interest to help Aleco. So sa rating na lang siguro, yung alphabetic rating, pwede natin makita kung sino ang capable na tumulong sa Aleco. Attorney?
Okay ka na, Attorney Keith? Ako naman, follow up lang doon. If you're like, for example, you're recommending Casureco, number 1, 2, or 3 ba yun? Isa sa mga yon. Pero remember, sila in Camarines Sur, 3 cooperatives in 1 province. Dati tayo, Aleco 1, 2, and 3 din tayo. Pero nung binuo tayo, ngayon, 230,000. We're now a very large cooperative. Kaya kung sasabihin mo Casureco ang hawak sa atin, di hamak na mas malaki yung Aleco.
Suggestion lang yun.
Yun na nga.
Mas
So,
marami pang iba. Mindanao,
dapat
Visayas.
bigger. Dapat bigger than
correct.
us. Dapat bigger than us.
Yeah.
Kasi kung ang hawak sa'yo mas maliit, baka hindi kayanin yung problema.
Okay.
And then, ito lang, anecdotal. Nagkikwentuhan kasi yung mga, yung IMAP na bisita namin nung huli. Yung Aleco also, nagkikwentuhan na, tayo nga ang laggard, di ba? Aleco as a cooperative is the worst performer among all the 120 na sinasabi mo. Imagine tayo ang pinakahuli, pero may katabi tayo, AAA. Nandyan lang, di ba, Casureco? Kahit Sorsogon nata, at least category A yon, di ba? A or not lower than B. Tayo talaga, D tayo nanggaling. Masaya na tayo kasi C tayo ngayon, di ba? Ang point doon, sabi nga kaya kami nagtatawanan kasi maraming gustong kumuha sa Aleco. Pero ang sinasabi ng mga taga-Aleco, baka hindi nila kilala ang mga albayano kung gaano kahirap i-manage. And going back, ito po ang mga tanong ko. For your cooperative to cooperative proposal, who really controls Aleco under C2C? Sino bang hahawak? Sino ilalagay natin? Tuloy-tuloy ko. And paghahawakan nila to, first and second question, yung muna, what are the concrete targets na dapat makuha natin in the first 12 months?
Yung second sigurong question, Tony, nasagot na dun sa last slides.
Okay,
If
sige
you will
po.
go over
Iwag na
them.
yun. O sino
Yung
na
una,
muna?
sino?
O,
Attorney, I would outrightly say, ang Aleco under C2C would be controlled by the members, consumers, and owners through the board.
Sino mag-a-appoint ng board? Sino ang interim board?
Interim-
Kasi tayo nagkakaproblema eh.
Ang proseso ng interim board, NEA muna. Later, we can have the election, yung regular election ng board, na meron ng sectoral representatives.
So, bubuwagin yung existing Aleco board.
Maybe we need to revise the bylaws first. Okay?
Kasi baka totoong management ba ang inaano natin o merely advisory din lang? Baka kasi sa totoo lang ngayon, ang Aleco board, hindi naman totoong board. Ang may hawak niyan, NEA naman talaga. So, when sinasabi mo, si NEA mag-a-appoint, parang ganun din po.
Well, wala namang ibang legal process, attorney. You know the procedure.
Wala na
Hindi.
tayong wala na tayong
We use
Siguro-
the process, but in the end, we get out of it. Parang ganun. We use the political will ng mga albayanos. Kasi wala naman talagang ibang legal na paraan but to use what is legally instituted. Otherwise, illegal ka. But you can always use that. So in the end, by evolution, we can get what we aspire for. Yung setup na nakikita natin.
The Aleco manager is NEA
Yeah.
appointed.
But later on, we can deviate from
Hindi nga
that.
board.
Oo. So, we can deviate from that later on. Hindi nga lang biglaan.
Oo.
Di ba?
So clarification lang, engineer. The board itself, tayo pa rin nag-elect noon. Pero yung the GM lang, general manager, yun yung inelect or inappoint ng NEA because ang status natin is we are a NEA administered electric cooperative.
Project supervisor ang tawag.
O parang yun nga, parang supervisor natin sila. Oo. O bangkarote because of that.
Beggars
Oo.
cannot demand, di ba?
Oo. So, yun nga po sana ang hinihingi natin sa Aleco. That's why nagsumulat tayo, 'di ba? Sumulat tayo for them, other than the state of Aleco address na ginawa nila, for them to present the rehabilitation plan nila sa Aleco because that's the only way for us to know kailan ba tayo makakaalis sa NEA as NEA administered electric cooperative. Because kung wala naman palang plano na tanggalin tayo sa under the supervision ng NEA, ibig sabihin continuously sila ang nag-a-appoint ng GM natin. 'Di ba? Walang plano. Kung walang plano, anong ini-implement? Yun nga yung hinihingi natin. Unfortunately, sabi nila sa sulat nila, busy sila ngayon, may General Assembly sila, and in the same manner, in the same letter, ang sabi nila dun sa request natin for audited financial statement, sabi nila, these are not available at the moment. So yun. Kaya dininay yung request nila natin sa kanila. Follow up ko lang, Tabi Engineer, duman sa topic mo, Giraray. Sa co-op to co-op scheme ba, ano ang incentive kang darakulang cooperative para tabangan sa dit na cooperative?
Alam mo, itong mga cooperatives, they are not motivated by profit. They are motivated by brotherly, concern for each other. Because they know that they are being targeted to be privatized. Alam nila yun. All electric cooperatives in the country are targets of privatization. And they don't want that. So they want to help any ailing cooperative to rise from the mess they are in. Kasi ang gagamitin na rason kung bakit ipaprivatize ang isang cooperative, may financial problem kayo. Kung wala yan, there's no reason to privatize. Kaya gustong tulungan ng ibang cooperatives yung may mga problema.
So are you saying, engineer, na in this cooperative to cooperative scheme, libre yung serbisyo na ibibigay ng malalaking cooperative sa...
Hindi naman, but minimal. Compared sa private na natutulong, mas mababang dihamap ang tulong ng cooperative.
But not free?
Not free.
Okay. Any other questions?
Ako may question.
Good afternoon. My name is Joseph Eric Diaz. I'm the Provincial Director of the Climate Change Task Force under the Climate Change Commission, Office of the President. This is Bong Ali, my Administrative Officer, and then my Communication and PIO, Mr. Jubil Diaz also. We wanted to ask question, but we are not yet aware of what's really happening. We are just adjusting, so maybe later. If you have any question about the Climate Change Task Force, I would be happy to enlighten you.
Ako sir, diehard akong supporter ng anti-climate change advocacy. I mean, yeah. Anti-climate change.
You are against.
Global warming. Okay, ganun po. But if I may say, sir, kanina pinakita ko yung solusyon na kailangan kumuha ng power supply from the two geothermal sources ng Albay. They are renewable, non-polluting. So, yun tayo siguro magkaka-ugnay. Opo.
So practically, you're saying that you don't like carbon emission. That's why geothermal is an answer. We can have partnership along that line later.
Para si Mr. Diaz can join in. I'll do a recap kasi nag-transcribe naman ako kanina. Si Engineer Perdigon actually has a C2C proposal. So yung unang diagnosis niya ng problema ng Aleco, number one, Aleco's failure is structural. It's not accidental. And we were talking about the systems loss at 22 to 25% with non-technical losses. Ang mga sources ng theft, illegal connections, non-collection as the main driver. And there's a debt of approximately 5 billion compounding over time. And there's governance failure, weak consumer trust, and institutional decay. So Engineer Perdigon mentioned that APEC failed not merely because of finances, but because it lacks social responsibility, social acceptability. It was perceived as arrogant, distant, and unaccountable to Albayanos. So the C2C proposal by Engineer Perdigon is a proposal. It is not a proposal. It is not privatization, but rehabilitation through cooperative solidarity, anchored on 5 pillars, right? Okay, number one, the first pillar is social acceptability. And he says this is very foundational. Non-technical losses cannot be solved by police power alone. Compliance requires trust, not fear. And the key mechanisms, dapat full transparency of Aleco, finances to the public. A truth commission modeled loosely on South Africa. Yung after the apartheid, yung South Africa did the truth commission to learn, to be accountable, and it becomes an institutional cleansing. not primarily punitive but corrective. The core idea, mabalik ang Aleco pero bantayan kang mga albayano. So this pillar directly targets theft, non-payment, and community resistance. Yung financial operability, Engineer Perdigon says Aleco needs around 300 million operating capital to pump prime rehab. And proposed sources, 10 high-performing cooperatives at 30 million each, 30 cooperatives at 10 million each, plus possible LGU and NEA participation. That's where the 300 million should come from. Explicit rejection of conversion into a stock corporation. Ayaw niya yan. Because risk of dummy shareholders. Backdoor irreversible privatization. So clear warning, according to Engineer Perdigon, once privatized, Aleco is lost forever. Okay, technical feasibility, power supply is not the problem because we have Tiwi Geothermal producing approximately 234 megawatt, Bacman Geothermal 130 megawatt. Albay demands currently around 42 megawatt only. Medium term, sabihin natin lumaki tayo magiging 70 megawatt, long term 91 megawatt. Clearly within the capacity of Bacman and Tiwi. Even 10% allocation, according to Engineer Perdigon, from Bacman is sufficient, Pakwan alone. Argument that IPIRA forbids this is overstated and legally contestable. Legal basis, RA 7160, which is the local government code, RA 7638, DOE law, section 5, paragraph I, RA 9136, EPIRA, section 66, NEA Memorandum 2020-049, explicitly recognizing C2C and LGU partnership. So this is not legal improvisation. Sabi ng Engineer Perdigon, it is within the law. Political support, number 5, yung fifth pillar. Meron daw RDC Resolution number 41 in 2013 under RDC Chair Salceda, endorsed C2C. The RDC, alam naman natin, includes governors, mayors, RDs, academic heads, and civil society leaders. So, according to Engineer Perdigon, this political architecture already exists. What is lacking is the activation. So, one more thing he mentioned, the operational components of the rehab plan. 1, system loss reduction. Ito yung mga panghuli mo. Debt restructuring, power supply plan, distribution development, institutional and human resources reform, anti-theft campaign based on community cooperation, not brute enforcement. So, key insight, as he was saying, a question was asked, you cannot police 230,000 consumers, you must persuade them. Overall assessment of the proposal, it addresses the real problems, trust governance, and non-technical laws, avoids irreversible privatization, legally defensible, historically studied by UPNEC through Professor Del Mundo, and that's it. So from that, I hope it was clear. Yung pa ang sinabi niya kanina, in short.
So, Engineer, with that, Sir Eric Diaz, may reaction ka po with that?
Wala. First of all, second na to kasi kanina nagpakilala. Second of all, thank you very much for inviting us. This one, as I was reading it, nakalogan sa mandato kang climate change. Sa task force kaya, may mandate siya also with 5 pillars of different laws. So, it has been there, kaya lang it was never activated and now it's activated. And I was unaware that what we were doing when I was with Gina Lopez was actually an answer to climate change already. Formally, pero si Gina Lopez kaya nagdudulog sa mga politiko kung anong gusto niyang gibuhon, nailing niyang sala, nailing niyang masakit ang mga pobre, makontra siya. So now, yaon ako, taga-Albay ako, given a chance to work at this climate change thing, I have committed myself to do my part for intergenerational responsibility. Damon Gabuske nakakasabot, ang pag-iisip lang puro ngunyan. And in my experience, moving around with the different LGUs, no all the LGUs convinced sila about climate change, mitigation, adaptation, but bako sila gabos all out. Taday man da nila nasabutan, ta science nga yan, malalamang nga kung pagibo ang kitinampo, pagibo ang kitulay ta, masasabutan may. So this is quite a challenge for me, and I'm so happy to be invited here. You're looking at proposed solutions and remedies from private entities. Ngunyan pa sana may nag-atod sa kuya kisurat. This one is something about solar panels being installed for free sa household. Kaya lang di ko pa nailing ang kulatilya kang kontrata. Anyway, somebody wants to install solar panels sa mga homes for free. Pero sigurado, imbis magbayad sa Aleco, mabayad sa inda. So I haven't seen the kulatilya yet, pero at least somebody is offering it for free. And then ang carbon emission kay ni lowered compared sa as if you are also planting a tree if you have a solar system sa imong harong. And then also not only for household, even for barangays, even for LGUs. And one of the LGUs here in Albayad already gave into the intention of this particular guy sa Malinaw, subilog na munisipyo, iso-solar for free, pero sa iya na magbabayad. Kaya lang ang kagayunan kaya kan solar, pag dakol ang panels mo, aldaw man sa ng opisina, makakatabang na maray. May saro pa siyang propose, bakulang solar, pati mini turbine. Kasi pag maluyang kuryente, maluyang sunlight, the turbine will be helping in storing sa batteries. So, timing, this could be an answer. Pero I have to check everything, and then I of course I have to submit this to my boss. Pero at least somebody pwede tang pag-irestoryahan. Anyway, so I understand the concern is Aleco, that's power, pero that's not only the concern of the climate change task force. We have some sort of police power also. Pigalat milang sa mga. It was very nice to hear that Attorney Kit signified to us na any legal thing na kay puanan mo, iyaon kami. Salamat unon. Nagpupun pa sana, at least may suporta na. Ano po? Gusto ko yan na pigatara mo, sir. Puros yan importante sa buhay ta, importante sa maabot na futuro. Sana pagtarabangan ta.
May I tell you this? Kung hindi sana tanggal si Governor Rosal, yung plano ng AMCO, yung grupo namin, once maka-establish kami ng cooperation with Aleco, maglalagay ng office that will be in charge of setting up solar panels in homes. Aleco mismo ang maglalagay ng solar panels sa mga bahay. Pero natigil yun, sir, nung tinanggal si Governor Rosal noong 2022. Baka matuloy na yun, sir. That's a very good additional component ng rehabilitation plan.
Okay.
Sharing na sa Malacanang Giraray. Doon, pinagaran ako. Pinatod personal lang nga hindi niyan sa luwas nag-aalat. Kauro nun gumaan. Pero offering something na magayon.
Okay. So anyway, some final words, sir.
Yeah. In addition, if Aleco needs 41 megawatts with solar panels, baka sir mapababa natin sa 35. Oh, di ba? That will be consistent with the rehabilitation plan that I presented. Thank you.
Dakulao na salamat. Engineer Perdigon. Sir Eric, salamat din. Okay, one more thing.
Because we have a problem can mining sa Rapu-Rapu before Lafayette. It's now being rehabilitated according to the regional director of Mines and Geosciences, the attorney RD Gimo Molina. Sabi niya sa kuya, pigre-reforest mina. Sabi ko, nata daw data tanuman ki solar panel para lang specific para sa Rapu-Rapu. Tibad lamang magibuta. So, pigtatanuman pa lang, nagtatanom ka tanganing so carbon emission ma-change into oxygen, pero pag naglagka solar panel ang pigamit mo, garo ka masala nagpa-plant ki tree,
Mhm.
harnessing the sunlight. So, I just hope maging feasible ini duman sa nakikiuron sa kuya na at least ang inot ang gibuhan na island is Rapu-Rapu.
Okay.
So rehab reforestation at the same time matanom kita solar panel farm. Iyon ang kuryente ni Datangon yan, naka-diesel sinda under Aleco. So iyon yan ang mga nailing kong magayon digdiyo sa tuya sa Albay. Okay, iyon masasabi.
Thank you, Sir Eric. Some final words, Engineer Perdigon, may sasabihin ka pa po?
Parang wala na.
Okay.
Sabi ko,
So,
but thank you for the opportunity to present before you. Attorney Taiki, Attorney Andes, thank you very much for the very good ideas. I also learned this afternoon.
okay. Attorney Taiki, final words?
Yeah, okay. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. For those who attended here live, and I'm sure baka may watching us also online. This is recorded, so this can be watched as it will be uploaded. So what we heard today is very important because it forces us to confront a very hard truth. The crisis of Aleco is simply not about wires, substations, or megawatts. It is a crisis of trust, governance, and collective responsibility. So Engineer Perdigon's C2C or co-op to co-op proposal reminds us of something we often forget. That Aleco is not a private company. It is owned by the Albayanos themselves. The proposal does not promise miracles. It does not claim that money alone will solve the problem. Instead, it insists that any solution must stand on 5 pillars, namely social acceptability, financial operability, technical feasibility, legal basis, and political support. Most striking is the emphasis on social acceptability. You cannot arrest your way out of the power crisis. You cannot police 230,000 consumers, but you can rebuild trust, demand transparency, and invite our kapwa Albayanos to take ownership of this cooperative again. We are reminded that privatization is not a neutral choice. Once Aleco is privatized, it is gone forever. There is no undo button. That is why the co-op to co-op model deserves serious and sober consideration as a middle path, one that deserves public ownership while demanding competence and accountability. So what this forum has made clear today, across the 3 episodes we had already, doing nothing is no longer an option. Defending the status quo is no longer defensible. And any solution that ignores the people will fail, no matter how well-funded it is. The challenge now is not just technical or legal, it is moral and a civic duty. If Aleco is to rise again, it will not be because one group imposed its will, but because Albayanos chose to participate, to watch closely, and to demand better. Mabalik po ang Aleco, mabubuhay yan muli kung tutugutan ta at kung babantayan ta. Diyos mabalos po sa Indagabos.
Nakulao na salamat, Attorney Taiki, and sa gabos na nag-participate ka sa tuyang episode 3, especially sa Albay Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Siguro as a closing note, ang masasabi ko lang sa gabos sa tuya na nag-iinanyog, Happy New Year po. Happy New Year po, and aram ko gabos kita igwang New Year's resolution, gabos kita may piga ano yan, tiga wish na pagbabago. Pero ang apot ko po sa Indo gabos po baga may bayad. Kung gusto mo na magbago ang sa imong health, gusto mo good health, kaipuhan mo magbayad. Ano ang ibabayad mo? Mag-exercise ka. Ano ibabayad mo? Magkaon ka kimaray na pagkaon. Pero ang apot ko po sa Indugabos, gusto po nindo ini mga pagbabago na magayon. Kaya po ba nindo na bayadan ang presyo na tigahagad para makuha ang pagbabago na gusto nindo? Bayadan nindo iyan. Kung gusto nindo mabago ang quality kang serbisyo sa Aleco, bayadan ta po kung ano ang presyo ng tigahagad. Ano po ang presyo tanganing magayon na serbisyo ang Aleco? Sabi po sa sarong libro na nabasa ko, On Chains, na pigsurat king sarong professor sa University of Pennsylvania, true change daw talaga is traditional. Pag nadawg mo po ang word na traditional, ini po gabus imbuelto. Pag sinabi mong tradisyon, di ka na nag-iisip tigigibo mo ta tradisyon. So, true change daw is traditional. It's not technical na may mga technical specifics ka, scientific. So kung gusto mong tunay na pagbabago, gabus dapat kita gabus na tao, gabus kita stakeholders should be involved on the solution to the problem of Aleco. Na iling po nindo so presentation ni Engineer Perdigon, sabi niya po igwa kitang around 120,000 consumer. Pero pag nag-abot na po sa action, maburoto na anong gusto nindong solusyon, pero lang nagpapartisipar 10,000 or less. So, it appears po at this time, di po kita willing to pay the price for the change that we want. So again, ang challenge na po sa pag-end kang sa tuyang forum this day is pag-isipan na po kung talagang willing kita na to pay the price. And if we are willing to do that, then makiaram po kita. Pag nagburoto kung sisi ang gusto nindong ma-elect na board sa next election, maging presente po kamo. I-elect nindo sa tamang nasa posisyon. Okay? With that po, dakulaon na salamat. Diyos mabalos sa tuya gabos. God bless you all.